And we are back right here at there you go. AcademySportsShow.com.
Turn it back up.
Oh yeah, turn it back up. Turn it back up. Shit,
Touch your mic down.
huh?
Touch your mic.
Take it.
Yep.
Can you hear? I can't hear myself.
There we go.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, let me get me up. All right.
Does that light work?
I don't know. You need more light?
Redo. Can
Oh.
you redo?
Yep.
For those of you in the live feed, you get to see behind us.
Behind the scenes. Yeah, I feel like I'm
Hold on, I'm not redoing yet.
okay. Do you like let me see how I hear to you. Maybe it's the headphones.
Oh, I'm about to say, I hear you.
Hello.
It might be the
Yeah,
headphones.
it's the headphones.
Studio. You want to unplug? You want?
I'm about to say
Oh, okay.
630. Because it sounded real muffled on those. Check. Yeah, much better.
It's the headphones.
Yeah, it's the headphones.
Are you ready?
Much better.
Yep.
You want me to start from the intro?
Yep.
All right.
5, 4. Let me try some more light. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Right here, Academy Sports guys listening. As always, we got a big show for you. Joel will run it down. I'm excited. He's excited. We're excited. Let's get this thing popping. I'm your host, Andre Delegan. Sitting next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
What is good, everybody? It is a Thursday in the D69. Might know on something. Anyway, welcome everybody to the Academy Sports Podcast. As you heard, big show tonight. It's Thursday. We got a lot to talk about, as always. Sweet 16 tonight. Michigan is on tonight on tap. I believe they're playing the second game, the 9:50 or 9 game or whatever against Texas Tech.
As we speak right now, Gonzaga and Florida State are playing.
Ooh, that ought to be an interesting game because you got, I think, one of the top offenses in college basketball versus one of the better defensive teams in college basketball. So we got that plus a lot more to talk about. It is March. It's wrapping up, and then we're headed towards April where things really get interesting. So Ray versus Joel trying to get me to do a Sweet 16 bracket so he can
I didn't want you to redo the bracket.
so he can have a chance or something. I don't know.
Always trying to get me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Also, NFL. Gronk has retired.
Why?
What does that mean for the Patriots?
My tight end.
What does it mean for Jim Go? Or does he hang around?
Does he just go?
I
Did you just make that up? That wasn't in the breakdown.
That's not in the breakdown. It just popped in my head because people have been asking that question.
He
Like,
just want it over with.
does he leave now? Because really, it's interesting. He has no one. There's no one left on his team. Also, NBA, who's your MVP? This week we had Giannis versus Harden. And interestingly enough, we had Harden walking in with one of his cohorts with a shirt that said, "I'm walking with the real MVP." And the Bucks won. So we'll talk about that. Who's your MVP so far? Who's your rookie of the year? And are you looking forward to the playoffs without LBJ? Plus, I got a top 5. And with that being said, we're going to get into it. But before we do,
you know that it's time to pay the bills. And if you want to be an affiliate of the Academy Sports Show, make sure you hit us up at academysportsshow@gmail.com. because right now this show is sponsored by Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Both licensed and insured, Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up to code, waterproofing, or just daily home services, you want to call the man.
313-304-7786.
Check out bondsplumbing.com
to
check out the map of the areas that they service. You are in that map. I promise you, you are in there. Check them out. You can do that quote as well. But we think you should just call the man himself, because you can say the guys at Academy Sports Show sent you. The number is
313-304-7786.
That man right there, trust me, is the real MVP. Most valuable plumber. All right, so Joe went through the rundown. Some things happened this week. We are in some games.
Thank you,
God.
Thank you, God. Jesus Christ. Yep.
Threw that one right up there.
Yep.
But I guess we should just start with the most pertinent thing, the games that are going on now. What we started with last week, where we talked about our brackets and our Cinderellas and our upsets and how our brackets are looking so far. There was some confidence, of our brackets and moving forward. One has been humbled. One is moving on quite strong. And the one has been humbled is me. So we both made two brackets, right? And
yes.
I told you that my second bracket was kind of just, it wasn't a throwaway bracket, but I just went just straight up ones,
number ones,
8s over 9s, acumen into the NCAA tournament. And needless to say, my second bracket is doing better than my first one.
Yes. Well, that's good.
And needless to say, it doesn't matter because you're killing me on both of your brackets.
That's not true.
You are. You're destroying me.
Okay. It's 540. I have 540 points to your 470. If you compare like both of our main brackets, then my second bracket has 480 points, and your second one has 430 points.
That's my first bracket.
Oh. Oh, your second bracket is the one.
Yeah, the second bracket.
The rank. Oh, because all the ones are left, all the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm only benefiting because I had a couple upsets earlier.
Balls in there.
Yeah.
And see, I'm never too above to say when I'm getting my tail whooped.
That's
it's
good.
okay.
Because you don't say it often.
Especially if it's my brother.
You don't say it often. You don't say it often at all. Like
what?
You don't say you know what?
You have to have physical evidence of beating me for me.
That's true.
For me.
Because here's what you do. Like, you will not, unless there is something I can go to point out, like, here's the proof. You're not going to admit that I am actually beating you. You're not going to admit it at all. Had a great moment. It was awesome. This week, another great moment. So I've gotten 2 weeks where I've been able to like really say I win.
Okay.
Or,
I give you that.
I don't know if I win, but
because it's true. I can give you that because it's true.
Thank you.
My Cinderella, Murray State, they didn't do. Ja let me down. Ja let me down. You let Dave Chappelle down. Where is Ja?
That's not true. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Ja did a great job. Okay.
For one game.
His team didn't.
For one game.
His team didn't perform.
Where is Ja?
So I think the only reason, honestly, I think if I look at just my Sweet 16, I think I'm benefiting from the Auburn.
Yep, because I had Kansas.
You had Kansas. So I have Auburn sitting here playing North Carolina. So I'm benefiting from that.
Shot too. There's not a lot of SEC basketball teams that you
Right.
could really hitch your wagon to.
Right.
So that's why I went Kansas there. We all know how good Tennessee is this year.
Right.
So that was kind of like a one-off. But for me to pick Auburn over Kansas, that was really a stretch for me.
Yep. So I'm benefiting from that. And then I'm also benefiting. We both said Oregon. No, did you have Oregon? You had Oregon.
I had Oregon
far, right?
I had Oregon losing.
You might have had them
not this far.
Okay, so you had them losing.
Round, yeah.
Okay, last round.
Yeah.
So I have Oregon. See, now this could change it. I have Oregon winning tonight.
Ooh.
Or beating Virginia either tonight or tomorrow.
Well, when I redid my Sweet 16 bracket, the losers tournament, I had Oregon winning on both of them because I'm just not a Virginia guy. Like I know you're supposed to switch it up, on each bracket.
Yeah,
but I just can't pick Virginia. Like they
have
zero offense.
See, I will with you on that.
Yeah.
And Oregon, I have Oregon winning, so that's part of it. And I think also looking at I also had Virginia Tech right here playing Duke, so maybe those are probably the picks that probably have me in a good place right now. But if you know anything about these brackets, that can change fast.
Yeah,
so I mean, don't get too down on yourself because I'm not gonna ride this confidence too far
for the course, right? Other than a couple games here or there, the number ones are still here, the number twos are still here. Everybody's still moving forward. This Sweet 16 will let us know a lot, and I'm actually really excited to see the games moving forward because they have been really competitive games. They've been exciting games. That Duke UCF game, come on now, like how close can you get?
Oh my God, I thought UCF was gonna win that.
Yeah,
game. And I'm gonna tell you, I was low key rooting for UCF.
Really?
Yes, bro. Because I think there's something about it's just I think there's something about March Madness where those things happen. I'm one of those guys like in the moment. I don't really go into those types of games and go, man, I hate Duke. I want them to lose.
Yeah.
I go into them and I watch them because I watch Duke for the entertainment value. It's a basketball game. I'm a sports guy. So I'm like, oh, Duke's on. Good entertainment. Let's watch it. But then you see what's happening and it's like, oh, I'm getting into this. And then I make a decision close to the end. Like, do I want to see an upset or do I want to see Duke move on? And I oftentimes probably land on, I want to see an upset. I want to see a moment. Because then in a couple years, we'll remember that game.
Right.
And then we can say, oh, yeah, I was watching that. Right. Or I was there. And I was watching it with JoJo, which was great because he was like, we were both screaming,
into it.
Did you see that? Oh, and we're running, we're moving and jumping it because that's how close it was. But for my man to miss that many shots over him,
I don't know.
He got pushed, but I'm not saying they should have called it. I'm not starting that argument at all. But then to have that tip, that ball was going in.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to see
NCAA gods kind of moved the rim.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy at work. I was like, you ever seen 6 Man with Marlon Wayans and his brother?
With the ghost.
With the ghost. He just kind of nudged that out a little bit.
Yes.
Because they just wanted Duke to keep going. Yeah, you would believe if Duke wasn't like in it, the ratings for this whole tournament would go to crap.
Probably.
Especially if they lose to like UCF. Like they don't have like that following that would keep the ratings going.
Yeah.
So
that's probably true.
You definitely got to keep Zion. What's your saying about the association? They have their ways. I'm really looking forward to not only these games but the Elite 8 matchups that can come out of these games. Seeing both, we shoot the podcast, as we say always, in Detroit. So seeing both Michigan and Michigan State move forward, that would be great to see. Just to see those matchups, to see everybody wants to see. As soon as the brackets were announced, I think the biggest, the biggest prediction or the biggest matchup everybody wanted to see was Duke and Michigan State. To see that matchup.
Which that UCF game would have ruined that.
Yeah, would have ruined. Yep. So this tournament does have a lot of good matchups this round and a lot of good potential matchups next round. Yeah,
it looks like if all the top seeds, let's say they all keep winning, right?
Minus
Virginia, right? So if everybody moves forward according to ranking, minus the Virginia Oregon game, you're looking at some 1-2s going into the Elite 8, right? So you're looking at on Saturday and Sunday, you're looking at basically the top 2 teams in every bracket with an opportunity to get to the Final Four. And to your point, there are some games. So it's a mix. It's such a mixed bag. It's like I'm rooting for things to happen, but I'm also rooting for some of these really competitive games to take place. Almost to the point of where I wonder. I'm really torn on which one I want to see happen. But now I don't think any games now at this point are upsets besides that Oregon-Virginia, which the way Oregon's playing right now is not an upset.
It wouldn't be huge.
It would be huge. And some people will argue that Florida State over Gonzaga because Gonzaga's a 1. That's not really an upset. If you watch Florida State, the way they've been playing, same thing. So at this point, you have, I think I saw a stat, you have like, 90% of the top 10 teams or 10, 15, 16 teams are in the country are still in this tournament.
Yep.
So you have a chance to see something special. Maybe all ones get to the Final Four. Maybe 1s and 2s. It's going to be really interesting to see who gets there.
Yeah, I look forward to this this weekend, and hopefully I can gain some momentum.
It ain't over, man. I'm telling you. You got to be mindful of the bracket. It can change. If Oregon loses tonight, it could change. Because I've got Oregon winning. Okay. But I think you had them losing. So yeah. I mean, there's ways for you to make up points here. So believe me, it ain't over yet. Okay. You don't see me too. I'm gonna take this small this week victory over you. But I'm not about to just start talking trash.
Oh no, you can, man. You can.
I can't, because it will. Believe me, it can come back on you, baby. Oh, it can come back. It can come back on me quickly. So Michigan plays tonight.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that game?
I don't.
Nervous.
I don't feel too good about it. It's a 50-50 if you look at who's being picked. I see some Michigan. I see a lot of Texas Tech. Michigan, man, they got to knock down shots. It's simple as that. And their athlete has to dominate the game. Matthews has to dominate the game. Like, shooters are going to shoot, but Poole's going to throw up some half-court shots that's going to go in, But I'll really put on the weight of Matthews, because this is a guy, talk about, get your draft stock up. I saw like a thing on him, like they had him 60 if he came out today. Like, right. Bro, like if you're trying to make the league this year, like you need to put a string of games together.
Yep.
And I'm not telling him to go out there and, pull a job, 35, 11, and 11 or nothing like that, but impact the game where they felt you, where they will have to scheme for you to free up some of the other guys. Because right now, you're playing lackluster basketball.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Like, I feel like tonight is a toss-up game where you got you have the two top defensive efficiency teams in the country. Texas is 1, and Michigan is 2. And the one thing about Michigan all season is they go through these scoring droughts.
Yep.
And that's literally the only thing that has me worried tonight is they go through these scoring droughts, and when they go through them, it only takes a little 6 or 8 point run by the other team.
Yeah, to totally take them out.
And it takes them out their game.
Yeah, it does.
It's a small little battle. So
that's so true.
I think that not only does Matthews have to be big tonight, I think that Jordan Poole's got to be big tonight. Yeah. So he's got to hit those shots that you're talking about.
Most definitely.
And then Matthews does have to give us something extra. I feel like what you're going to get out of your point guard, in Xavier Simpson. You know what you're going to get out of Teskey. But Xavier Simpson he can't carry you offensively.
Nope.
So the offensive guys have to show up tonight. I believe they can. I'm just nervous. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Michigan wins this game tonight, but it's close, like 65-63.
And that's no homer on that.
No, there's literally no homer on that. Because I thought about this earlier. I was like, tonight, we got to pick this game. And I was almost going to say Texas Tech.
Okay.
But when I think about it, I feel like Michigan's got a little more offense than Texas Tech does. They both play D well. And I feel like because of that, Michigan can get a little bit of a lead and sustain it. I think early second half, I think Michigan can take a 6 to 10 point lead somewhere in that. Just stretch it out just a tad.
Okay.
To a point where defensively, I think they will be able to keep Michigan in a good spot. I mean, keep Texas Tech in a good spot to where we're going to be all set and we'll be able to finish the game strong, to the point, I think, to where they will end up not breaking them, but end up pushing them to the limit to where they don't have enough offense. Texas Tech doesn't have enough offense to win the game.
Okay.
So close.
Well, yeah.
Close.
I'm hoping that you are correct. Because it would be nice to see that both of them move on.
Yes.
And then your main upset in this round is Oregon, right?
Yeah,
that's
Oregon
my main
beat
upset
Virginia.
in my Sweet 16.
Yeah.
But everything else, the twos move on. Tennessee,
yep.
Michigan State, Michigan, all those guys move on. The ones move on.
Yep. If Michigan doesn't win tonight, your bracket is not still perfect, Brandon. If Michigan still prove it, email that to me, please. PDF. If Michigan loses tonight, I want Michigan State to lose tomorrow night.
Can't go further.
That's the hater. I'm sorry, bro. That's the hater in me right there. Michigan
but
tonight,
is it That's true. I mean, but is it certain things where you just want? Is it a Big Ten thing? Like you just want a representative of the Big Ten to keep moving forward? You can't look that route.
No, I'm normally that guy.
Yeah,
I'm normally a Big Ten supporter.
Yeah.
Until we play each other.
Okay.
But Michigan State's beaten us 3 times this year. So I feel like you beat us 3 times and you make it further in the tournament. Dang it. Because the last couple of years we beat them or they weren't there to play. Like, we got the Big Ten championship last year.
Right.
But we also beat them in the regular season. So I was like, oh, we beat you in the regular season and we got to the Final Four.
So I can root for them.
Yes, yeah. I know.
So we got a couple games. You
Big
like,
Ten support. Big Ten support, definitely.
You can move forward, but we still got you.
Yeah,
like got your number.
I can't say that now. We lost 3 times.
Yeah,
and there's a chance we could see him in the Final Four if we both get there.
If there's some major upsets need to happen,
so right, they got to beat you.
Happen.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah,
because I feel like they're gonna win tomorrow. They got to beat you.
Okay. If we move forward on that, I don't think they have the tools. I think we have a show before the Elite Eight.
No, the Elite Eight is Sunday.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't think they have enough.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough tools for that.
And that's not hating. That's not Homer either.
The formula, because UCF gave the formula. Like, as you alluded to last week, Duke just can't shoot the ball that well.
Yeah, they don't shoot well.
And they have scores, but they don't have shooters.
Yeah.
And to me, Cam Reddish is their best shooter.
Yep.
But he's struggling in this tournament right now to find his shot.
Right.
He hit a big shot in that game to get him up, when it was crunch time. But when it's time to put things together, he really talk about a guy not helping his draft stock. I think just being on Duke and being on, if they win the national championship, that'll help him. But I don't think they won it because him up to this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's gonna follow.
He's
them.
definitely a third of the big 3.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's gonna follow them for the rest of the way.
You can say Trey Jones is a bigger 3 than him.
Trey Jones can't shoot either.
But he's a solid point.
But I mean, this is the thing. He defends, right? Yeah. So he's like the head of the monster.
He starts the transition break
for sure.
Yeah.
He's the floor general as far as the floor leader. Obviously, Zion's the emotional leader of the team. He's the energy guy, and he's got all the talent. He's got the most talent of everybody. But if they come up against Michigan State, here's the thing about State: they defend really, really well.
Okay,
right? So that's not going to be a blowout. State's going to show up and they're going to punt. Yeah. They're going to battle. I actually think that the athleticism of Duke and the ability to for their scorers to score will be a little too much. I just don't think Michigan State runs a 7-man rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they have enough.
Okay.
They're not equipped this year. They're not deep enough. And I think that my man for Duke, the point guard, we just talking about Jones. I think he can contain what Stu Scott used to say, you can't stop it, you can only hope to contain him. Yeah. I think he can contain Cassius enough to allow Michigan State, allow Duke to get by.
Okay. All right. Are we giving out our the predictions, the final?
Oh boy. So the next time we come on, we will be because we can wait because championship game will be the following Monday.
Okay.
So the next time we come on though, our final 4.
Okay.
All right. Will be Duke. Ooh, what did I say?
I said
you want to just go with now, or you want to go with our bracket?
Well, Final 4, I went with Duke, Tennessee.
I think we had the same.
Kentucky, and who was the other one?
I think we both had the same, except for I think I went Michigan and you went Gonzaga. Or did you go Florida State?
No.
I went Michigan. I'm trying to think.
No.
Let me look. That's why they played that game. All right, Academy Sports Pie. Let's see. Which bracket is yours? 1. All right, so 1. Okay, yeah. So you have your Final 4 is you have. Oh wow, you had Murray State.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. You had them. You were riding.
That was riding.
Wow.
Come
okay.
on, John.
All right, so you have Duke, Murray State, Tennessee, Kentucky.
Yep.
And then in the one that
you pretty much got the same thing.
Yeah, I had
with
Duke,
Michigan.
Yeah, I had Duke, Michigan. Yeah, I had Duke, Michigan, Tennessee. Oh, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yep.
Okay.
Duke, Michigan, Tennessee, North Carolina.
That's gonna be a good game when it happens too. Kentucky, North Carolina.
Yes, that's gonna be a very good game. Yeah. So yep. So that's what we're predicting. Next week when we come to you live, we will be talking Final Four with a Saturday and Monday game.
All right. Hey, post your Final Four in the comments below. Let's see if yours match with ours. Post your real Final Four, the one that you still got in the brackets. Don't post the one now from your Sweet 16. Let's see how accurate you were. Is your top 5 football or basketball?
Basketball.
Basketball. All right, so we can move on to football. What's going on in the NFL? I think the biggest story coming out of the NFL, well, there was 2 big stories. We had the rule change. I didn't put that on the breakdown because I feel like that one's pretty much par for the course where it was necessary, but I just hope it's not – I hope it doesn't take away from the game, like the momentum of the game.
That's my biggest hope, bro. Is I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about it.
I don't want them to do those like they do the flags now, like the whole this play is under review, and then they trot over to the guy holding the tablet, and then they got to look at it. I just want this to be like, tell me in my ear, was it a call? All right, cool. Like this has to be like a 30-second fluid call.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like it can't be, every flag. And the one part that I don't like about it is the no call. Like you can challenge a no call. I don't like that. Like
I don't either.
Every call is a no. Like if you put anything in slow motion, you're gonna get a call out of it. If you put anything in slow motion, you're gonna get the call.
I agree.
So the no call part of it, that's the part I don't like. The call part, but that's just because of what happened before, right? It's because of the Saints Rams game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I apologize for those of you on YouTube that are lagging. I think that's because we're running multiple things.
Well, sometimes we lag on our side and they don't.
But I agree. I think that the whole idea that you can challenge a no call, I think that takes the element out of it we need, which is the human element. I think there's a reason to have a referee. There's a reason that they're there to call plays and officiate the game. And I think we're getting on a slippery slope when now we can start challenging the no call moments when I think there's more calls in the league that we don't see because like they say, holding happens on every play.
Right.
So there's stuff that happens on every play.
The good no call.
Right.
That was a good
no call. Yeah. So like I feel like the good no call is going to end up turning into a call, which is kind of annoying. I understand the rule. I guess I feel like I might want to hold judgment until we see it in action. Because I'm sure we're going to talk about it. Like I'm sure we're going to have a discussion about it. I'm sure it's going to be worth discussing because I believe that there's guaranteed controversy coming. I believe there's guaranteed controversy. Deuce's Dad 11 says I don't like it. Deuce's Dad 11, I agree with you. Let me not say that. I'm going to stick with my original point. Is I'm going to hold my judgment. But I think it ends up biting them in the butt.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling next year something's going to happen and we're going to be.
I think that they know that. That's why it's on a 1-year basis. Yeah. They only implement it for 1 year or keep it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just the no call part. That's super iffy.
Yeah, you know what, Deuce's Dad Love, you make a good point. You said leave it as it is. The refs just made a mistake. I agree. I agree with that. The refs messed up. Okay, we get that.
My bad.
And it does feel like the NFL likes to be super reactive, and that's interesting. That usually doesn't work for people. Like I'm actually doing something right now at work where a lot of the things we talk about is about people being super reactive to things and not being proactive. So I don't know. I think part of the game which people don't like is that there's a human element to look at feed.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because our Wi-Fi technically can't handle.
If you're Deuce's Dad, if you're on YouTube, can you tell us if we're choppy on YouTube or if that's just on our end?
All right. So yeah. So that's my take on it. I'm gonna hold my judgment. But It's just one of those situations where
choppy.
Right. It's one of those situations where it's something's gonna happen, and I got a bad feeling. And when it does happen, we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna say, "See, we told you. You're always reacting."
All right, everybody on my live feed. Brandon said Duke, Gonzaga, Virginia, Kentucky. All right. So 3 number 1 seeds go into his. Look, guys on my feed, I definitely appreciate you coming in, but it's slowing up our feed. Sign up, press and subscribe, get in the feed, get in the conversation, and then we can go that route. I definitely appreciate you guys in live feed. It's messing up everything else. So go over to the YouTube page. You'll see our faces. First one to pop up, it'll click up. Trust me, we want you in the feed. We want you in the feed. All right. So, yeah, because I forgot. I was wondering before I found my
yes. I'm about to actually click in my feed too.
So yeah, I think with that being said, it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a pain this year with that or if they run it fluid. I think it's just all about the time they take to review. If you take forever, this is going to be a long season.
Yeah.
If you make this a 30-second kind of thing, then I would appreciate that because we both can watch the game and look at it and go, oh, that's a bad call. And you should look at it and be like, that's a bad call, make the call and move on. But if you're going, this play is now under review.
Right.
Trot over to the wrong one and then got to go down to the next one and go through all that stuff. I think it's a bad thing.
That's true. No, you're right. It's going to be, and it's going to happen. Like, it literally is going to happen. Something's going to happen, and we're going to be sitting here going, this is horrible.
And that's what the preseason's for. Like, because remember last year, the whole thing going into that season was the unnecessary roughness call, right? Leading with the helmet. And they called an abundance of those calls in the preseason. But you didn't really see that in season. Right? Because they got to work it out. They got to see it. The one thing this season was the whole sacking the quarterback, landing on the quarterback thing. But you didn't see all the penalties that you saw in the preseason in this season from leading with the helmet. And that was like a big thing. I remember like after the first week, it was like 5 of those calls made. That was the topic of discussion all week. And you saw those kind of dwindle. You might get that with this preseason. The first time one of those challenge flags for a no call or a call comes through, it may take longer. And then the next time it may take a little less. And then week 3, they might find a better formula. And then by the season start, hopefully they find a quicker solution to make the game move on and not linger in that way. But you gotta hope.
I hope so. The NFL needs a good season. Can we get through a season without like any of this? It seems like lately it's just something. It does, but the one thing we all hate to see is what happened in New Orleans game. Listen, that was horrible.
Yep.
I think we can all admit that. The feeling that this could have is it could be a situation where you do this and then it becomes you overcompensate.
Yeah.
I think the hope is that it either works or it doesn't, like either or.
Yep.
But if you got this middle ground where you got moments where it's good, moments where it's bad, that concerns me because now, like if I can do a no call, right? And it's fourth quarter, 10 minutes to go, and I feel like that should have been pass interference. The ref doesn't call it. It's a pass interference. I throw the flag. They slow it down. His hand was there before.
Slow motion.
And then the game changes.
Yeah, slow motion is going to make. And you can even.
That gets on my nerves.
It was funny. I was watching The Jump and they had Jason Kidd on there. And they had a segment called "What Were You Thinking?"
Yeah.
And you remember when he told my man to run into him?
Yeah.
So he can drop the water and get an extra time out.
Yeah, I saw that episode.
It's funny. Like, hey, look, we're down. We need a big play right now.
Now it's the big play is throwing the challenge flag,
just run a streak and get him to jockey, get him go do the Harden and do the sweep under with the arms.
Like it.
You know what I'm saying? While you try to get the ball and now throw the challenge flag. All right, coach, I got you.
I don't like it.
And then you throw the challenge flag. It's a good no call because you see he initiated the contact. You put it in slow motion. That looks like pass interference put on the 60-yard line. Or first and goal.
Yes.
You get that touchdown and the swing of the game is totally different.
Yep.
So yeah, it definitely has potential to suck. And I hope they figure it out before we get out of the first